Hello and welcome. I hope you're well. I'm not still over the Liverpool game, but we've got Fulham tonight, so we're going to do a preview of that. But we'll start with some breaking news. Thomas Frank has been given the sack by Tottenham after their 2-1 home defeat to Newcastle. Is it a surprise? I don't. It isn't really, is it? I thought he'd go a few weeks ago when they got beat at home off West Ham. It was the same weekend we got beat off United. And that smelt like when managers get the sack. But he didn't. He survived that long enough to take points off us, which most Tottenham managers do. So I don't see that as a particular tick in his positive box. But is he a good manager? I mean, you look at what's happening at Brentford now, and you're thinking, well, anyone can do that. You know, they're flying. Hopefully, they fly tomorrow when they're playing Arsenal as well. But when he goes into something that isn't structured exactly how he wants it, is he able to work in a different environment? Now, it doesn't look like it, but Tottenham's a basket case, isn't it? It's been a basket case. Mourinho, they sacked him before the League Cup final. Then they got Conte in, who set fire to the place. So they sacked him, probably rightfully so. But you can see the method of the type of manager they're going for. They're going for proven winners, big bucks, and they're supposed to deliver. As it turns out, they didn't. Then they go for the assistant manager of Conte for a few weeks, and it was a disaster. Then it was Postecoglou, who, outside his first 3 months, wasn't very good, but won him a trophy. So they binned him off, and then they go for Thomas Frank, proven Premier League, steady Eddie, the Nathan Ake of managers, if you will, is the way I'd look at someone like Thomas Frank. And you go back to look at the videos I did at the start of the season about Tottenham. I thought it was the end to the boom and the bust. Well, it certainly is that, isn't it? There's no fucking boom now. It's just bust. I thought it'd be steady Eddie. I thought it'd be top 8 pretty comfortably. But then there's a lot of injuries. You look at the squads. I've always said, and I've said for a while about Tottenham, if you've got Vicario trying to keep him out and Richarlison trying to put him in, your starting point's a problem. That's a problem. But, they've got Van der Ven and Romero. One's always injured, the other one's a liability. And Doggy's always injured. So I don't know where they stand, Tottenham. I think they're better than 16th, let's put it that way. So I think the manager does have to wear some of it. What sort of players? They're disgrace, aren't they? How many managers have they seen off? Loads of them. Have been at the scene of the crime for ages. The Harry Kane team, Pep called them once. He's left, and look where they are. So maybe there was an element of truth in that. But now it's about who next. Now, by the time this comes out, you might know who's next. But I think this is worth running through as a bit of a fun experiment. TalkSport was saying De Zerbi. He left Marseille last night for whatever reason. I don't know why. So maybe he's in the frame. Good luck if you think De Zerbi is a suitable fit for Tottenham. The guy's a bell end. Does well with Brighton. Starts chirping away. Apparently, he was on the City 3-man shortlist. I mean, forget about it. So De Zerbi to Tottenham, 16th in the division. They don't have to do much, do they? To stay up. They've got West Ham chasing them. West Ham. That's a bad thing in itself, isn't it? West Ham are only 3 points behind you, or 4 points behind you, whatever it is. So a few wins and they should be all right. It's just how do you go about getting those wins? How do you best prepare yourself? Is hiring De Zerbi, who's a high-risk manager, high-risk hire, just a general pain in the arse, on a long-term basis? Because he's not going to come for 4 months, is it? So, there's him. I listened to some Tottenham content before, and they were saying, Ryan Mason, can he do it for the whatever it be, the third or fourth time? You think, well, maybe. Seems a bit desperate. The under-21 coach was floated around, which they didn't even bother naming him, I don't think. He was the under-21 coach. So it shows what stock they have in him. But then the pick of the bunch. Well, first of all, they then suggested Robbie Keane, which in and in itself isn't a bad idea, I don't think. He's at Ferencváros in Hungary, doing reasonably well. Obviously not going to leave to come as an interim. But if they want to hire him in full time, I'm sure he'd jump at the chance. However, they've just done that with Thomas Frank. They've got a proven Premier League manager, giving him the big step up, and it's gone badly wrong. So why Robbie Keane, again, the old Spurs way, the United way, the West Ham way, delete is appropriate. Him coming in, there's not a lot else, is there? So that is probably a jump too big. But the highlight one, which I didn't think was a serious suggestion until it seemingly become a serious suggestion. They suggested a Harry Redknapp stroke Jermaine Defoe dream team. Or maybe if Defoe's not going to do it, Teddy Sheringham. It sounded like City in the 90s scratching around. You're like, what's the matter with you people? There has to be a serious conversation about football management and the management of football, how football clubs are run. If your idea, and apparently Redknapp's interested, I fucking bet he is. What year is it? 2026? He's still talking about Harry Redknapp. Someone on TalkSport suggested Sam Allardyce. You're like, the world gone mad. In no other industry would this happen, would it? In no other industry. With millions of pounds of players, and you're just going, that guy used to manage us 15 years ago might be pretty good. Or the guy who used to play for us once upon a time might be pretty good. Or the under-21 coach might be a good option. It doesn't matter with these people. Honestly. So I don't know who they're going to go for. Will they stay up? Will they go down? I mean, to lose at home to Newcastle and West Ham in the last 4 weeks is terrible. Neither of those teams, well, West Ham would either beat anyone, and Newcastle don't travel well at all. So I don't know, but are they going to go down? Well, it looked like it yesterday, didn't it, when West Ham were winning against United? It looked like Tottenham were in big trouble, but Sesko came out for United and got a goal. I didn't see the game. I've got very little interest in watching West Ham and United. But West Ham on a decent run. Are they going to catch Tottenham? I don't think so. I think Forest could go, actually. I really do. I know these harp on about Sean Dyche's track record of keeping teams up. Well, he also took Burnley down after keeping them up for a few years, and Everton were on the way of going down after he kept them up for a few years. Now, that might just be the nature of the squads, and anyone was going to relegate them, although Everton did ultimately stay up. So I think Forest might go, but West Ham, I quite like West Ham, but sick of the sight of them. I mean, they buy terrible players, hire bad managers, make bad decisions. I think there should be some consequence for this somewhere on the line. But I think they might stay out of it. But we play them in a few weeks, don't we? So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. Touch on United. They weren't close to getting 5 in a row. Ultimately, were they? And they were jumping up and down about that bloke cutting his hair. I'm telling you now, I bet he's quite happy that they haven't won 5 in a row. He's doing quite nicely, thank you very much, out of all his social media attention. He was on the last leg a few weeks ago. Now, what have your thoughts on that programme? I mean, I think it's all right, up and down. But it's a prime time slot on Channel 4, isn't it? Was it 9, 10 o'clock at night on a Friday? So to be on there because you haven't cut your hair for a year and a half, not bad going, So, yeah, I think he's doing very nicely out of it with, appearance fees and streams and whatever else it happens to be that people get. So, yeah, he'll be happy. If not secretly, his bank manager will be very happy. He'll be buying a house on the strength of this. I'm telling you, he'll be buying a house on the strength of this. But what United, are they going to finish in the Champions League? If it's the top 4, I don't think they will. If it's the top 5, they've got a good chance because Chelsea aren't doing that much, are they? Drawing home to Leeds 2-2. I mean, I don't think they were lucky against West Ham, but West Ham played off the pitch about an hour. If that goes to 3-0, it's curtains. And to be 2-0 against Leeds at home and draw isn't what proper teams do. And I know we did it, and we scored at the death. And Chelsea really scored at the death, so maybe it's all forgotten, but yeah, I don't think Chelsea are that serious. They spent a fortune. Imagine if they bought some good players. Imagine if they bought some good players. Imagine they bought a good goalkeeper and a good winger. Let's say they went out and bet the house on Donnarumma, Mark Guehi, and, I don't know, some other winger. Some decent winger who's not some 18 to 21-year-old project player who may or may not come good. If they actually bought someone proper, there'd be a lot. I don't know what the strategy is really. And I know they talk about they're just selling. They're doing it to sell players. There's no value in a football club to selling players. You need to be in the Champions League and that sort of recurring revenue and things of that nature. So I don't know what they're going to do. Liam Rosenior, is he a good manager? Again, another one. Wildly underqualified to be managing Chelsea if their ambition is to win the league. So, but they've seen him close hand at Strasbourg, haven't they? So presumably they've seen something that is yet to make itself obvious. But he seems a nice enough guy, but he just seemed like he's over promoted to me. And Leeds, maybe not won in a while, but they're ticking over, aren't they? I think they'll probably stay. A win here and a win there, a draw there and a loss there will probably be enough. Probably enough for them. Again, we play them away on the 28th, don't we? 5:30 kick-off. So that should be fun. And yesterday's game as well. Everton and Bournemouth. Everton won away at Fulham last week, the weekend, and then go and lose at home to Bournemouth. So they're a bit all over the place. But same with Bournemouth. There's a lot of teams in that cluster where you don't really know what you're going to get. And I think I put Fulham in that category because I wouldn't have thought Fulham would have lost at home to Everton last week. They're a mixed bag, aren't they? Halfway up the division, they've got a good manager, decent enough players. It was a great game when we played them whenever it was, before Christmas. Is it 5-4? An absolute shit show, by the way. But, I don't think we'll come on to that because I think that was just its own thing and we don't need to. I don't think we can take much out of that game that we can put to this game outside of do not give players space to wallop it at your goalkeeper because he's going to go in. They're all Premier League players with all good technique. So I wouldn't. Yeah, don't give them space, close them down, and then hopefully we should be fine. But yeah, they've got some good players, haven't they? Like that. Who's that one of those scoring screamers? Oh, his name's escaped me. Can't remember his name. But he's off. He's off in so many free transfer. Manager looks like he's off in a free transfer. Harry Wilson. That's his name. Harry Wilson. A good player. And they're a decent outfit, aren't they? However, the Premier League's full of decent outfits, isn't it? And if we want to win the league, we've got to start today. Today is the first day of the rest of the season, as far as I'm concerned. And I've probably said that a couple of times, but it really is now. There is no real margin for error now. We've done the hard bit. We've won at Liverpool. Now you've got Fulham at home. And then that starts to look like a good run of form, doesn't it? Beat Wolves, drew with Spurs, forget the circumstances, beat Liverpool, beat Fulham. 3 wins out of 4. And things start to, you can make yourself comfortable that we're in it. But I'm not going on this, I can't do it week by week basis. Sometimes an hour by hour basis. Is it over? Are we in it? Is it over? Are we in it? Is it over? Are we in it? We're in it until we're not, as far as I'm concerned. That's the basis I'm working on. I'm 6 points behind. However, there's 13 games to go, right? So Arsenal got to drop 6 points somewhere. If you accept that history tells us that the last day of the season at the top end finishes as it starts. So that's only 12 games, really. So we've got to beat them. We've got to beat them at home. That'll take 3 points off them. So then, out of those games, out of the remaining 10, we've got 11. We've got to take more points than them. And can we do that? I think we can. Get people back from injury. Semenyo's settling in. Mamouche looks like he's starting to pick up some, if not form, at least some game time. And we've got every chance. But I'm not doing this every week. It's just you just got to give it a few more games and see where we are. We've got some good news on the injury front. According to Pep yesterday, Kusanov is back, which is great, but I wouldn't play him. I mean, he had a serious injury on Sunday. I know it's a concussion sub. They said on Sky it's a concussion sub. So presumably that involves the concussion protocols, which I thought it meant he had to have a few days off, or at least a game off, or something of that nature. I didn't think you could come off on Sunday evening rather, and then play Wednesday evening. That doesn't seem right to me. So I'd rest him. I'd give him the day off, and then he could play against Salford. That'd be my view, and I think that'd be Pep's view as well. Get Diaz in, get him some, because that's going to be our Champions League centre partnership, isn't it? Centre half partnership. John Stones is fit. I don't think I'm the only one, because listen to 9320 and A-Sign yesterday. I just didn't care when I heard it. I thought, I don't give a shit that you're back. 3 years ago, I'd have been fucking jumping up and down that he's back. He's amazing, but he's back until he's not. Oh, he'll play. Let's say he's not going to, is he? But let's say he plays against Salford, and then what? We'll get a. Oh, John's injured again. He took a knock, and then we'll see him in 6 more weeks. You can't squad plan like that. You can't have that. He's always had these injuries in him, but now it's ages there as well. The team's struggling as well, and I take very much the view that we can only have players that we can rely on to be fit. Fit first, performances later, right? Let's get to the pitch first, and then we'll see your performances go. And we can't really get on the pitch, so we can't even judge performances. So his contract's up at the end of the season, as far as I know. So yeah, my view: the king is dead. Long live the king, or the kings in this case, and in this scenario, Mark Gay and Kusanov are the kings. And for those who aren't following, John Stones is the one that's dead. So yeah, it's been great for us. I've got not a bad word to say about him. Bumped into him the other week at a swimming gala, actually. All very middle class. It's not really. But his days are long gone. His good days are well and truly behind him. I'm sure he'll have a role. He'll play against Salford. He'll play against some other no mark in the cup if we get one. And he'll probably come on at their death if we're trying to hold on to a win or something. Or if we're cruising, he can come on and, run around for a bit, give someone else a rest. But that, I think that's more or less the end of him. So the game then, tonight, 7:30 kick-off, good time, get home at a reasonable hour. So what do we want to see? I want to see, what's the word I'm looking for? An assured, a proper performance, a proper City performance. I don't want to see us scratching around. I want to see us sustain attacks and dominate them, because I think we've got it in us, and I think that win over the weekend should give us some confidence. I want to see no daft mistakes, nothing. Don't give them a sniff. I think we just dominate them and set out properly, close them down. Don't give them any encouragement, and give us confidence then that once the league schedule gets back on, Newcastle at home in a week and a half, that we are then confident to go on a run up until the next international break or whatever point it is in time that you want to pick to determine whether we're in with a shot or not. So Donnarumma in net. I want to see him a bit braver on the ball though. I know the balls kept coming back, and you could criticise, and Pep did. I think he criticised Haaland and Marmoush. He criticised 2 of the 3 of them. I can't remember which one it was, about not being able to hold the ball up correctly. Well, if that's happening, then do something different, I'm afraid. Not criticism, because he's been learning as well. And scream at Rodgers or Bernardo to drop back and give you a lift, just to take some pressure off. Now, it's Fulham, it's not Liverpool, but everyone's got a few decent players, haven't they? So yeah, take some more risks, I think, in the build-up. And no doubt he'll make some early saves at the start of the second half when we've come out a bit sluggish. But hopefully we don't see that. I'd run more like the 3 of the back 4 again. I thought Aït-Nouri was good against Liverpool, barring his usual issues about pretending to be injured and things of that nature. But yeah, I thought he looked good. But I want to see that in normal league games now. I don't just want to see it in big games. I want to see it consistently in normal league games. And Núñez on this side, I think we can safely suggest that Diaz will start along with Mark Gay. I'm sort of working on the basis that who needs a day off, and then you sort of then I'll pick it round there. So I think O'Reilly probably needs a day off, but it's good enough to play against Salford, obviously, the weekend. I'd play Bernardo and Rodri again. I know it's probably a bit of a risk playing Rodri again after the efforts and that he put in, but this is a must-win game in my view. And whilst I like Nico Gonzalez, he's been injured, he's been in and out. So I'm not seeing him much, so I'd give him the Salford game, let him get some confidence. And Bernardo, play him again today, and then give him the time off before the Newcastle game, which was 12 days. And that should give us a good base for the front four to go and do the business. I'd give Semenyo a day off as well. Coming from Bournemouth and hasn't stopped playing. So I'd give Foden the nod. He's been out of the team now for what seems like a long time. Was it the Bodo game, his last game? And they talk about, his arm, he fractured his wrist or something. So anyway, I think he should start today, and that gives us Marmoush will come on to Foden and Bernardo, who can press high and put Fulham under pressure. And then I'd also play Foden against Salford as well. At the time, 2 games on the trot. I expect a 7.5 out of 10 for him today, and a couple of goals against Salford. Then hopefully he can get back on track for an important period for us. And Cherky, I think this is a perfect game for him, isn't it? Home to Fulham. They'll probably be defending. There won't be too much running back to do. So, yeah, let's see what he can do, because we'll need his creativity. But one thing I want to look at, and there's probably not a conversation for now, more the summer transfer window. Who is our set piece taker? I know. Who is our? It was Kevin De Bruyne, wasn't it? It was Yaya. Who is our main man when it comes to corners and free kicks? And Marmoush obviously can take good corners and take free kicks, but there's no guarantee he's going to play. So I think that's something that we might need to look at. But the front two for me be Marmoush and Haaland, and then give Haaland a day off against Salford and run Marmoush again, because I think he needs appearances first, and then the goals will go. I mean, he scored a few anyway, but I think the goals will come. So I think that there, so you get those in there, him running up and down there, him running up and down there. That's got to be good enough to beat Fulham, hasn't it? Got to be. And if that can't beat Fulham, then we haven't really got much of a squad, have we? If Phil Foden can't come off the bench against Fulham, then what are we doing? If Marmoush can't play against Fulham, then no point in being it. So, whilst I accept, Fulham a decent outfit, well, so are we. So, I just realised I got a white top on. I'm not like a Fulham fan. So I think that's a pretty good team to sort Fulham out with. And my prediction is 4-0 City. I think we'll be pretty. I think we're pretty comfortable, especially if we get one first. With Haaland down for a couple, Foden and Cherky as well, and then we can have a nice, relaxing day and put some pressure on Arsenal before their game at Brentford. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining. I'll be back. I don't know, actually. I might do tomorrow, depending on what my diary's like, or I might do Friday after the Arsenal game and see where we are, talk about the Fulham game, and also preview the Salford game in one. So rather than do 2 short videos, do one that's a reasonable length. But I'll see what the diary's like, see what mood I'm in, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and onwards and upwards. And I think we'll win comfortably today. So I'll see you soon. Take care.